GF gave a 2 weeks notice and her boss went off. Girlfriend took a new job and because she's working for a small business wanted to do right by her boss and gave 2 weeks notice. She mentioned that she'd be making more and her boss says, "I'm not paying you more." Yeah, that's why she's leaving. She finished telling her she was leaving by offering 2 weeks and her boss said, 2 weeks means literally nothing to me, so I encouraged her to not go back in. People are absolutely insane. Imagine someone being so thoughtful as to give you 14 days to find and train a replacement and you just berate them for it. So instead the plan is she will take the rest of the week off and start making 25% more at the new job a week early. Proud of her. Honorable mention. She was told, "Well, you knew this job didn't have benefits when you applied. That's why she can't stay forever, you absolute clown." Good on her for getting that sweet new job. She's going to be so much happier. I had a very high-level professional position. My title was not VP, but my peers were VPs and I reported to the company president. They pissed me off. That isn't easy, but they managed it. I decided to give them about a week notice instead of my customary 2 a week only so I could set up my staff for the transition to not having me. This was on a Thursday, and I told them I would be there through the next week on Friday. They asked me to give classes to the staff on all the stuff that was just in my head, and to write documentation of it. The next day I taught classes all day. I then got laryngitis. Not surprising given that I spent a whole day talking. And my doctor told me not to talk for a week. Monday, Thursday of the next week, I was at home, writing great documentation, sending emails, not actually speaking to anyone. That Friday I came in to drop off my keys and wave goodbye to everyone. I also delivered a letter to my boss recommending my replacement, and that he be given some kind of retention or he would leave. I don't know what he got, but I told him not to accept less than I was getting. He was 2 years out of college. I was more like 25, and he was very happy with whatever they gave him, and thanked me profusely for it. They ended up paying me out for a week of vacation anyway. I guess employers don't bother to think about what they're losing. This kind of post needs more attention. It is absolutely the reason there should be no expectation of notice. These stupid companies. They don't understand they won't get loyalty if they won't give it. And that comes in the form of PTO, good pay, and benefits. Begging for dignity won't work anymore in a work environment. And they simply cannot get this through their thick CEO skulls. We need to remember that a 2-week notice is just a professional courtesy. And it's a courtesy that employers seldom give to employees. They fire us without notice the moment they have no use for us. Or we become a little inconvenient. Turn your back and walk away. Thank the stars you're not that way. Neil Peart, Rush. No one wants to work anymore. I had a job recently where I was fired for giving 2 weeks notice. That place was a toxic hellscape of unvaccinated, mouth-breathing swine. One thing I learned the hard way is to never give notice. Do employers ever give you a 2 weeks notice before they fire you? Hell no. So if they don't ever give you a heads up, why should we give them one? When I move on from my current job, I'm gonna say something to the effect of, "Hey, in 2 weeks, you're going to notice I'm not here anymore." I walked right out of a job where the supervisor demanded I sweep a floor with my bare hands, because there weren't enough brooms to go around. Next thing I knew I was getting phone calls from the boss's boss wondering why I quit, and I told him this. Faith, I want to believe my employer, position, career are a good fit for me, and my employer, respect, I want my employer to see me the way I see myself, as a human being who deserves as much respect as I give my employer. Pride. I want to be and feel useful at my job and be of benefit to those around me as they are a benefit to me. She hung up on me. I gave 5 weeks notice at my last place. All that resulted in was 5 weeks of the manager getting nastier and nastier to me when I started. And up until I gave notice, we would mop the shop floors 23 times a week. A week after I gave my notice, it increased to 4 days. Then every day I was on, I would mop. We would usually share it, but somehow everyone else got to work earlier than me, and even if they didn't, I would still get lumped with mopping. If it means nothing, then just don't show up for the next 2 weeks. Seems pretty simple. He who cares less wins. And right now, that boss is winning. Yeah, don't go back in. This is unacceptable treatment. Typically, the 2 weeks is not to replace someone, but to turn over the responsibilities to whomever will be covering those tasks until a new person is hired. Adjust shifts as necessary, etc. It is just the standard. Even when I did internal moves, 2 weeks was standard, with an additional week at a later date to train the replacement. Any boss company that does not get the 2-week thing is probably the same type that makes you do their job of finding coverage when you are sick or use a vacation day. Unfortunately, some bosses just take this sort of thing personally. LMAO, it's stupid. You should have to let them know 2 weeks in advance anyway, especially if you're just taking a day or more off for something important. Fuck em. She's leaving, what are they gonna do, fire her? You keep bashing America like that and we will come, liberate you, tears of joy.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic ARRSLASHTHROWAWAY is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.